Ecija and Its History. Ecija is a town which belongs to the province of Seville in Andalusia. It is situated in Genel River Valley. With its 1,000 kilometers squared, Ecija is the largest town in the province. Ecija is widely known as the City of the Sun, the City of Towers, or the Frying Pan of Andalusia, and its art is of paramount importance in the area. Astigitano and Astigitana are the male and female names given to its people, and so are Ecijano and Ecijana. It currently has a population of over 40,000 inhabitants. Let's start by going over its origins. On the area where Estigi lies, once lived a Paleolithic community of hunters and gatherers who left as heritage carved rocks on the upper fluvial terraces of the above-mentioned river. Later, they would live on the lower fluvial terraces, where more sophisticated rocks and pieces of lithic flakes were found. In the Neolithic period, communities tended to be sedentary. As a consequence, villages emerged randomly in open air without any planning. The Almagra pottery was then developed. Furthermore, artificial caves were carved into the rocks with the mere purpose of collective burials, where they would lay the deceased along with their belongings. At this point, we would like to highlight that the first example of bell beaker pottery was found in the area. Regarding the Bronze Age, it is worth mentioning the use of silver, a new type of dagger or sword with a riveted grip, without forgetting individual burials. It is in the 9th century BC when the Tartessians settled in the area currently known as Cerro San Gil, right by the river. There, they enjoyed dwellings with either circular or oval shapes. From that moment on, there was a population growth, and cremation rites and carved steels replaced conventional burials. The city enjoyed quite a splendor during the Roman period. Some historians claim that the Battle of Munda took place right here, March 17, 45 BC. It was the second battle of the Roman Civil War, and the most dangerous and difficult Julius Caesar had to fight against Pompey's supporters. Around 14 BC, the colony's name was finalized as Colonia Julia Augusta Ferma, leading the Conventus Astigitanos as one of the 4 that were part of the Roman province of Baetica. As years went by, the city grew and developed. The main roads are Via Augusta, which connected Astigi with Cordoba and Hispalis, and the road leading to Emerita Augusta. The importance of Astigi lied not only in its strategic location, right on Via Augusta, and by the river, but also on the cultivation and exportation of oil to the Roman Empire. Astigi boasted a magnificent forum, as well as luxurious baths, a great amphitheatre, and a circus. The wounded Amazon and the mosaics are part of the Roman legacy our city can take pride in. The first stone bridge was built over the river to replace the former, which was made of wood. In this period, the city had 2 enclosures walled up to the battlements. As the legend goes, Pablo of Tarso founded the Diocese of Ecija, what would make Ecija become the first capital of Hispania Baetica with an episcopal seat. In the Visigothic era, Ecija was the cradle of San Fulgencio from Cartagena, who later became a bishop, and his sister Florentina. In the year 711, the city was held by the Muslim troops. Those who supported King Rodrigo fought them at the so-called Christians' Font, yet it was useless. The conquest of the city was a major contribution to the Arabs' rule of the south of the peninsula. Roman Astigi becomes Islamic Astilla. Ecija was always considered a wealthy city, and it led to coining the nickname of the City of Cotton, Madinat al-Qutun. It could be said that the city planning was inherited from the Roman era. However, there are certain aspects that say otherwise. Its Islamic wall presents Albarani towers. Inside the walled enclosure, we can find 4 different gates: de Osuna, de Sevilla, de Palma, and the gate facing the river. One of the most significant remains of the Muslim period is its Al-Hama Mosque. In terms of population, it was mostly Hispanic Visigoth, yet there was an Arab minority which originally came from the East and North Africa. During the Caliphate of Córdoba, different communities could be found: the Arabs, the Mozarabs, the Berbers, and the Jews. Most of the population opted to convert to Islam due to the social economic upsides the conversion would bring along. They are known as mulares or converts. Around the 12th century, Écija enjoyed paramount importance thanks to its markets, irrigated land, and its forests. The Castilian conquest was carried out by Ferdinand III in 1240. Far from being unfair, the Muslims were allowed to save their lives, keep their properties as well as their religious beliefs, their tax system, and even their authorities. Écija enjoys the peace and quiet. Alfonso X gradually fills the city with Christian settlers. The city is divided into 4 parochial districts whose borders were marked by the following churches: Santa Maria, Santa Cruz, San Juan, and Santa Barbara. Écija could develop both socially and financially thanks to its location on the border with the Kingdom of Granada. At the end of the 14th century, Ferran Martínez, Archdeacon of Écija, fosters a Jewish persecution. Henry III restored Écija its title as city. Isabel, the Catholic, is said to have lodged in the city before setting off to conquer Granada. After the discovery of America, Jerónimo de Aguilar was one of the many locals that were sent away to conquer the New World, playing a key role in the conquest of Mexico. In the 16th century, Virgin de Valle becomes our patron saint. Regarding cultural representatives in terms of music, we cannot fail to mention Brother Juan Bermudo or Luis Venegas de Nostrosa. El Diablo Cojuelo, written by Luis Vélez de Guevara, 1641, is the best example of our literary heritage. Charles I added the title of Very Fair to the title Very Noble, previously obtained by our city. Philip V gives the city the appointment of Constant, Loyal, and Faithful. It was not until the 16th century that organised guilds emerged. During the 17th and 18th centuries, and thanks to the high number of convents, up to 20 from different religious orders, and churches, it is thought that over 1,000 masses were officiated daily. Religious and civil buildings proved that the city enjoyed a considerable economic wealth. The 18th century is considered Écija's golden century. Unfortunately, some of the towers were damaged as a result of the Lisbon earthquake in 1755. Despite such earthquake, Écija was still considered the most Baroque city in Andalusia, resulting in the birth of what is known as Baroque Écijano, which can be seen in many religious and aristocratic buildings. Almost 40 titled nobles lived here at the time. 13 of them were Grandes de España, grandees of Spain. Under French occupation, most churches were looted by the French army. Los Siete Niños de Écija became the most popular bandits in the area. In 1880, Alfonso XII gave our city the title Most Excellent. Thus we arrive at the convulsive 20th century. At the beginning of the century, an avenue is projected from the Plaza de España towards the south. Miguel de Cervantes Avenue was officially inaugurated in 1912 as an essential means to improve the city's connections. In 1966, the city is given a new title, Historic Artistic Site. Every corner of this optimistic city does not fail to justify the above-mentioned title. This is our city. The Écija experience encompasses streets and squares with a 1,000-year-old history. Bathed by River Genil, you can find a city that offers a magnificent countryside as well as warm and sunny weather. As you approach the city, you can see on its skyline why it is called the City of Towers.